What what's good, guys? Your boy, Mr. Old School Rider. Come back at you one more again on the Riders Book. I want to give a shout out to special authors up and coming living in Dallas right now. What's going on, Taee? Come on, really? Wow. This-
Hi, I'm doing great, and how are you?
Tay, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm gonna have to do this on the cell phone, which I did not want to do, but hey, it's holding me. I don't know what's going on with this computer, but yeah, we're gonna have to do this. If the cell phone fall a few times, it be like that.
No, it's fine. I'm doing literally the same thing, balancing my phone up, so you fine.
Yeah, I got my little setup on here. I broke my charger on my MacBook. I can't charge my MacBook, so I had to go back to the old school desktop, and it's just cutting up right now. So, Miss Tay, what's going on with you, Miss Lady?
I'm good. I'm good. You doing good?
Yeah, it's all good now.
Right, right. It's the same thing on my end, so I understand completely. Thank you again for having me.
Sure, it be like that sometimes. But tell us about yourself. You look like you got the whole gang in the building right now.
Oh yes, my family. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? But yes, my name is Taee Jaxx. I'm from Louisiana, Houma, Louisiana at that. And I actually started writing a couple years ago. I would like to say when I moved to Dallas in 2016, mainly because, and a lot of people don't know this, it's probably like my first time ever saying this, because a lot of people think that I started writing urban fiction because I started reading urban fiction, but I started to really want to write because of horror. I like horror books and horror movies, things like that. Growing up, that's all me and my family really bonded over. So we would sit up there, and me and my sister's in the chat right now, Dashe, hi. And we would get up there and we would write movie scripts. That's all we used to do. And I used to sit up there and tell her like, what you think about this? What you think about this? And she will always get up here and tell me like, you should start writing. You should start writing. But I always used to get up here and play with my craft until I met Stanley and I started really getting serious about everything.
Oh, shout out to Stanley. He been holding it down from all over the country, man. I like
Yes,
that.
yes, he
I ain't never
really
met him in
has.
life, but I like that dude, man. He hard worker. He
Yes,
make it
yes,
happen out here in these streets.
yes, and hustle too. Definitely taught me some things. Definitely taught me how to be a better writer and how to be serious about my crafting too. Like even as I'm writing now, I'm trying to learn to be a better writer as I'm writing now.
Hey Shay, I know you ain't talking to me, but hey Shay J. She said, "Hey boo."
Oh yeah, that's my sister actually. Yeah.
Sure. All right. How long you been writing?
I've been writing going on about 4 or 5 years now. Because I actually didn't really think about it really at first. Is I actually wanted to cook because I love to cook. Every time I get up here and I was stressed or anything, my family could tell you now. I would get in the kitchen and I would just start cooking so I could just clear my head. And then I started getting more into reading whenever I would be in school. And I wasn't big on having friends a lot because I had my family all the time, as you can see in the comments now. I always just had my family, so I wasn't really big on having friends. And I would always be in the library in the corner reading a scary story. And I would just think like, well, maybe I could get up here and I could just jot down little notes here and there. And I picked up my first erotic book when I was about 12 or 13. My mom was a very open minded person. I mean, she told me, long as I was in the house, reading and everything, I'm safe and I'm fine. So that's exactly what I did. And Allison Hobbs is still to this day is my number one person because that's the first book I ever picked up was by her, and it was over from then on.
So what was the name of that book that you picked up back there?
A bonafide gold digger. I won't ever forget it. I won't ever forget that book. But it
Oh
was just
man.
it was just the way of the it was just the way that she broke down the character, and it was so detailed. I did not ever read a book like that that was just so detailed. And I would sit up here and I picked up my second one by her, which was Big Juicy Lips, I believe, or The
Oh
Climax.
man, you too young to be looking at
Right,
that.
right.
Man.
And I would sit up here and I'm thinking that now that I'm like 27 and I'm sitting up here, I'm like, I really shouldn't have been reading that, but I mean, look at me now. I'm writing just that.
Oh man, them influencers. They put that out, put that seed in you.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I just wanted to use it for good at the same time because I was still that same girl just in school. I want my book to be a book that a teenager, grown person just want to read after a long day of work or just something just to look forward to whenever they get off, just a simple escape. That's how I look at it.
All right. So where you are? You say you're originally from Louisiana, correct?
Correct, yeah, correct.
When did you move to Dallas?
I moved to Dallas sometime in 2016 in April. We decided just to pick up and move and just to have a change, a new change, and it worked out just fine. We're still here. We started making big memories over here.
Oh yeah, I'm originally from Dallas myself. I was in Dallas for 39 years before I moved to Atlanta,
Oh, really?
of course.
Okay.
I came out here late in the game, but it worked out anyway. I go home every now and then, so to see what is what. It
Oh,
just seemed like, oh yeah, it just seemed like every time I go home, it's hard to leave.
yeah, I definitely can understand that because when I go home to Louisiana, it really be the same thing. I go out there and I feel the air, feel the breeze and the vibes and everything, and then I be around some of my extended family, and sometimes I be thinking like, man, do I really want to like go back home? Sometimes I be extending my days and I be calling my job like, look, I'm about to stay like an extra day and everything, but it always be like that.
I love my food at home and everything like that. It's just a lot of stuff that's just different whenever you go home. Home is home.
Yeah,
Regardless
food. Yeah,
of
of course.
circumstances.
Oh yeah, the food, of course. Yeah, that's like the number one thing for me. As everybody could always say, Louisiana cooking, Louisiana food. Yes, it's nothing like it.
So nobody else don't make food just like you guys. It don't matter where the food is at, right?
I mean, I wouldn't really say that, but I mean, it's just being from Louisiana. Whenever we go out to other places and everything, like in Dallas, which I've been to some good places out here that had some good food, but it's just when they try to do the Cajun stuff, like the crawfish and the crab and stuff like that, it's like y'all can leave that where it's at. Leave that at home with us.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't eat seafood. I just eat my fish gotta be like fried all the way down. I'm allergic to seafood. I can't eat no shrimps or nothing without throwing up or
Oh,
my eyes
that's
swelling up or
that's
whatever.
that's tough. That's not good. That is tough. I actually have a cousin who's the same. I actually have a cousin who's the same way. Like she carried Benadryl in her bag because she's allergic to seafood, but she still gets up there and she still eats it. But every time she starts to break out, she would just start popping them, and she'll still get up there. She'll still eat it. But again, just a Louisiana thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell a couple of these old stories. It sound kind of dated or whatever, but this happened twice actually. It was back in the '90s or whatever, but it was a female. Actually, it happened to two different females, but one of them, I went to like an all you can eat buffet or whatever that had like shrimp and all that good stuff in there.
Mm.
I was seeing it on TV. You take the tail off,
Yeah,
peel the skin, and dip it in the sauce.
yeah,
Man, I went there like a G. I'm like, okay, I ate like two or three of them. Broke up the crab leg or whatever. Man,
yeah.
like 5 minutes later, man, it was all over the table.
Yes, yeah, that's how it be. I didn't know how to eat crabs really either at first either. To be honest, I still kind of leave them alone to this day because of that. I feel like it's too much work.
Yeah, for pouring that, I can't really even to be around it. Sometimes it just, then my eyes start swelling. No, either I'm gonna throw up or my eye going to swell. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't feel like carrying Benadryl all the time or like what do you call those shots?
Oh yeah,
Empanadas shot?
the little insulin shots I think they call.
Yeah, I don't feel like doing all that. I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna mess with it.
Oh yeah, no, I like I said, that's just terrible. I
And
feel
just
the
straight
same
up.
way. I feel the same way about when they eat chitlins back at home. That's something
Oh
I can't get
no.
with. That's something I cannot get with. The smell, like everything, and my mom them loves it, and I do not know why.
Oh yeah, I don't eat chillings either. I'm like a texture type of person.
Me too, same way. Like onions too. Like I can't get with it when I cook. I don't cook with that.
I actually started to love onions. It has its little benefits and everything. I actually started been eating onions for the last couple of years, but they do got to be cooked pretty good for me to eat them.
I don't know, like probably grilled for the most part. Like that's probably it, but I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah, all this time, it's like certain foods I was eating, I was always picking stuff out, or like, hey, don't put that in there. I guess when I just started finally eating the stuff that was in there, I started blowing up a little bit. It put a little bit more
I do
meat
the
on my
same
bones.
thing. My mom used to get up there and fuss at me and my sister when we was younger because she used to always find our plates and we used to peel off the little seasons that she used to put in the onions and the bell peppers. She used to pick them all off on the side because we didn't eat it. Like we used to pick through our whole plate before we ate it. She used to get so upset. It was so funny though.
Yeah, I didn't even eat pasta till like let me see. I didn't even eat pasta till like my sophomore year in high school.
Oh, no, I love pasta. I'm a pasta fiend. I love pasta.
Yeah, that
I'm
was our
actually
first.
just planning on making some tonight.
You can still do it. Hey, it's there for you. Is it cold down there where y'all at right now?
It is freezing actually. I think it's like 13 degrees outside.
Yeah, we supposed to have a freeze alert in Atlanta, but I feel it, but it ain't hit just yet.
Yeah, I definitely feel it, and I'm on the first floor, so I definitely feel it. It was snowing earlier today.
It was snowing.
It was snowing earlier outside today. Yeah.
You sure?
It was, yeah. And I said the same thing when I looked outside. I'm like, it's snow out there.
Didn't nobody say
My
nothing
mom
about it
was
was
like,
snowing down there. See, man, I'll tell you.
yeah, that weather is crazy.
Yeah, I was supposed to be on the road to Dallas and everything, but some extra stuff got in the way.
Yeah,
I ended up leaving too late. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna get back to work in time. Of course, you got the weather situation, but I guess I'm stuck in Atlanta right now until next week or whatever. But so tell us a little bit more about yourself, Tate.
well, I mean, I'm 27 and currently I'm hoping to make my book into a series, hopefully. That's my plans because a lot of people don't know this, but I actually started. That's the In the Family is the first book I ever officially written, but I written it about a couple a couple years ago, and I just started just rough drafted it and everything. It's just started really putting it down into real stories, and I just broke it down into a series, And what made me
Oh, that's a
do
great idea.
exactly, and what made me do that really is because I would take things that I would see in my normal life, and it could be like it would be random things. Like I won't ever forget. I first started conjuring up the book when I was working at Target,
Mm.
and I was like randomly in the shoe department, and I was looking at this mother and her son, and he was about 5 years old, but she was just trying on, they were just trying on shoes and get ready for schooling and things like that. And I don't know why that prompted me it's to doing a little story. And then the character name started kept popping out at me. The characters' names in the books, because it's about 6 characters I have in the book. But
Mm.
to those that have read it and followed the story, then all the characters are really pulled from different people in my life and alter egos of other people. Like one of the characters in my book is her name is Sharon, and that's actually my mom's name. And one of the other characters, his name is Dwayne, which is my dad's name.
Oh, you really did. I was gonna ask you about that, but oh, yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, but I actually glad you touched on that. Can you hear me real good?
Oh yeah, I can hear you just fine.
I just want to make sure. I don't know why it went on mute, but hey, we're back. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that. Some of those names in the book was kind of from, sound a little real. I'm like, I wonder if those are folks she's talking about. It's just a little bit.
Well, the main characters, those are actually names that I actually thought of, because before I started writing in the family, before I started really getting into the book, I wanted to see if writing was actually my calling first. So I
Mm.
started before I signed with Gangtales Publishing. I started putting out just small short stories on Facebook, and I'm not sure why, but thinking of character names always was an easy thing to me. So a part of brainstorming in my process is I would get up there and I would just play with some names, and I would think of the how the person's going to be. They're going to be Hispanic or African American or Japanese, and I would actually research Japanese names and research Hispanic names, and that's how I would get some of the names as well, so it could stick to the nationality of the character.
Oh yeah, that's cool right there. You did that.
Yeah, I like to think deep into the story. Sometimes I feel like I'm overthinking it, but I mean, I feel like I like to put out my best work. So
So the characters that you have in your excuse me. So the characters that you have in your book, basically they have a. I mean, even though it's telling the whole story as a whole, they each have they pretty much their own story. I know you say you go break your books up in chapters, but each character can have their own book. What it seems like to me.
pretty much, yeah. They all pretty much have their own background, because I want everyone to either love either one character better than the other. Like if you love this and that character, it's because you relate to their background, and you can. And I would like to say, if older men would read my book, that's where the older male character come in. For guys like you guys, if y'all would read it,
You say you
because
guys, I'm not that old. I'm just 42.
oh no, I'm not calling you.
Hey, I'm still a young, I'm still a, now I don't even want to say that, but we got kids might be watching. I'm a young, whatever you want to call it. Hey, I can still run and jump, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying,
I know, I'm just messing with you, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm old, when I can, whenever I go outside when it's cold out there, I can feel it in my bones. Yes, I am older. That is correct.
I'm starting to feel it too in my 27, but the character who's like in his early 30s, I would want guys to cling on to to the character like him because he been through things in his life. He has kids and trying to balance out being a father and the drug life and
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with that. There you go.
well
Oh yeah.
yeah I mean
I
of course some people can relate, some people
no.
can relate, some people can.
No. Shout out to one of my guests that was on a show in recent times, MC the Nick. What's going on representing that Minnesota? Don't be out here trying to roast me on my old show, man. I know what you're doing down there. But shout out to him. You make sure you subscribe and everything to his channel. He got something for everybody on there as well. What's good, Mike Jackson?
Oh yeah. What's going on? What's going on? Oh yeah, that's my brother. my whole family is under here. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, your folks over here deep.
Oh yeah, of course. Support all around. That's what I love. That's one of the main things. We are big on family in Louisiana, which is another reason why I wrote the book. And if a lot of people, well, the people who did read it, I called it In the Family for a reason. Because the main thing, when I'm sure you can relate, whenever you go through things in your family, they will always say, keep it in the family. It's always in the family. It stays in the family. So the things that they're going through, is in the family. They won't. Other people may not understand because it's in their family circle.
So let me ask you a question. Shout out to Stanley, of course, CEO. So how
Yes,
did you guys
yes.
get together?
And well, I'm gonna be honest because I'm sure you probably don't know this, but I thought it was a scam at first because you know how people are. They'll go and inbox you, they'll introduce themselves, and start bantering, here and there. And I thought it was fake until he sent me his website, and I actually went on there and I saw he's in California and things like that. So I'm like, okay, so this is real, and I was sitting up here and I'm like, is he want to sign me? I'm like, I just started writing like probably earlier in that year, and I
Hmm.
had put out my very first short story, and is I'm like, this is really happening. And so we decided. So I got on the phone and we started actually talking about it, and he sent the contracts over. And around that time, I was actually going through some family times with my family, and I stopped writing for a little while.
Hmm.
But around 6 months ago, I came across the contract like just randomly in my closet, and and me and Stanley was still up here, talking because we still had each other on social media platforms, and he would like inbox me like interviews that he'd be doing or anything that he'll be doing. He would get up here and he would just inbox me. And times he would just like send motivational messages like, I hope you're still writing, I hope you're good. And I just decided one day I just woke up and I was just like Tay, what you doing? You're just sitting here, like you're not doing nothing. So I was like, I wonder if he still want to sign me. So I just sent him the contracts. I'm like, I still got this. If you still want to, sign me this and that. And he sent the message quick, like I've been waiting. I've been waiting to sign you and things like that. And it was up from there.
Oh yeah, shout out to Stanley one more again.
And shout
That's
out to
the
my brother.
I got to give it to him. I had a lot of people on the shows over the years and everything.
Mm.
Everybody working hard, doing their thing in their way. It just seemed like he's taking over for real.
Oh yeah. Gangtales next 100 years. We always say that, and is that definitely true? Definitely true.
I mean, that's what's kind of needed, like in the literary world and everything. Like I know it's all quiet and proper and all this stuff. I know on the urban side, it's a little cranked up just a little bit, but
Yeah.
with Stanley, he taking it up like another notch. He like the big
Yeah,
CEO Suge Knight without the drama. You know what I'm saying? He doing stuff the
exactly,
right way. You know. Oh, shoot my phone. Yeah, he doing stuff
exactly.
the right way.
Exactly. That's how I said it too. Cause I'm like, I don't know why I kind of look at this like a little record label or something like that. Like you about to put out like your first album, like your first book is like your first album. Just to test the waters to see how you do. But I can't say that everything that he said that he was gonna do that he has done, and he's is somebody who is a man of his word. I will say that again. Shout out to him again.
Okay, I got a question here, real quick. One of the audience. Hey, what is your YouTube channel so we can find you?
My YouTube channel is actually at Author Taee Jaxx. How it is on the banner Author Taee Jaxx. And I should
Somebody
actually
type that in
start
there. If
posting
somebody
more.
type that in there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I got you. I got you. I'm gonna type
I
that.
know you're in that comment section. You know what I'm saying? I feel you.
I'm actually looking at it now, and I'm just actually about to type it in there now.
Oh yeah, what's going on, Regina? Mary, I don't know who you are, but shout out to you, Miss Lady.
Oh yeah,
Make sure y'all hit the like
again,
button.
family. Again, how is all of y'all doing?
Oh yeah, y'all make sure y'all like and share, subscribe on the channels and everything. Mr. Old School Rider, which is the main platform, and also the book club, which is the Riders Book Club, of course. But make sure to subscribe and all that good old stuff. But yeah, keep going, Tay. Talk to us.
Oh yeah, like as I said, like whenever I had just wrote by YouTube in there, but I need to start posting more. But I told myself that I need to start posting more and being out there more because I can't say that I'm not much of a people's person, but again, I'm trying to be more out there, which is why I'm glad that I got this platform just to be myself more and to talk.
I mean, basically, this platform is pretty much for everybody that's in the literary arts. It doesn't matter you're a ghostwriter, writer, voiceover actor, a performer, whatever you are. This channel is for you. I mean, I had like people, maybe like a couple subscribers, and also my last guest was Soren Baker. He was a writer at the Source back in the '90s. He
Yeah.
was on here last week. I mean, it can be from up to that, or it can be from like other artists only had like a few subscribers on my channel. It doesn't matter. If you got something going on, just hit me. We'll chop it up. We'll go from there. Promote yourself.
Exactly. That's why whenever you hit me up, I'm like, I got my very first podcast interview. I'm like okay. I'm like okay. But I actually went on YouTube and that's what made me more comfortable and that's what made me get back to you because I actually went on your YouTube and I was watching and I had seen the one that you did with Arthur Maurice McFadden and he's
Oh, that's
actually
my
some
dog right there,
yes
boy.
and that's actually another brother in arms of mine too because he actually was talking to me throughout my process of me writing and pushing out my book and he actually bought an autographed copy and
Oh
he
y'all.
told me how he loved the book.
Oh yeah, I only got the e-copy, but yeah, I'm gonna need like an autographed copy. Actually, I need.
Oh yeah,
If I was
of
in if
course
I
I
was
got
in Dallas,
you.
we probably would have done. If I would have actually came home this week like I was supposed to, we probably would be doing this like next to each other. But that'll be another time. But for right now, we'll go with the e-book situation, and
Oh
I'll be
yeah,
nice
of
and
course.
safe.
Oh yeah, of course. But I
I
got
have
you on
drove
this
on
one
ice.
autographed copy though. I got you on that.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be down there next week. I have to be down there next week. I gotta get some dinner work done too, but we're gonna
Hmm.
see about that. Also, Gangtales publication. Here I'll give you a big shout out as well.
Oh yeah. I'm actually seeing it now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I love the reason why I'm just glad that I'm signed to this publication and signed to him because again everything is a hundred percent owned and that's something that I didn't think that I would get with my first contract going in and then being the first woman signed under his brand. I definitely want to make a good impression. I definitely want to do good. That's why I want to keep putting out my best work.
Yeah. Also, if you independent or have like a publishing house that cares about you, that's cool. But I have like other, I'm not naming nobody, of course, but I get complaints like on a regular basis. Some of the authors that been on the show, or some of the authors that haven't been on the show, they be telling me their publisher haven't paid them. They playing with the
Mhm.
numbers. They not getting promoted. Stuff like that. I'm
Mhm.
like, man, I try to get them a solution to like certain situations and stuff, but y'all understand, sometimes you gotta get the bag first, but you gonna
Yeah,
give up your control.
yeah. I definitely understand that, but that's again, that's why I said that's another thing. What I love about being here because we own everything here. We could keep everything here.
I mean, I ain't knocking either way, you know what I'm saying? But if it was me, I had to go independent myself. I mean, I
Yes.
got some scraps that I've been working on for a while, I'm probably gonna self-publish. I had some people out there say, hey, we'll put your book out for you. But
Mm.
we're gonna see about that. But some of my stuff is a little bit too racy. But we're gonna see. I'm
Oh
probably gonna end
yes.
up just ghostwriting for somebody. The stuff I have right now. I've been writing since like 10 years old, whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got some. I tell some of the stories on the show, but I got some. Man, these stories are wild, man. I'm telling you, these stories are crazy.
Yeah, I actually got into writing too, listening to my mom growing up because my mom is very big on poetry. And my mom used to write poetry growing up, and she used to write like the detailed poetry that you would just sit and have a sip of wine with your ladies, and y'all always sit up there and listen to her poetry together. That's what my mom used to do, and that's another reason why I got into writing.
Oh yeah, shout out to mom for making things happen.
Yes,
She
mom,
did her
love
thing.
you. That's
Oh
actually
yeah,
her comments too as well.
I was gonna say she over there clapping right now for real.
Yeah,
Proud
yeah.
mom. What's up, Sharon?
Yes, hey mom.
They up there with you, or she back? They back home.
They're out here in Dallas as well. She actually just moved back from California to be around her grandkids.
Oh.
Not me, but my little sister and my brother has a daughter that's on the way as well, and my other brother he has a son and a daughter.
Yeah, California will spoil you if you are out there too long. I go out there. I used to go out there on vacation quite a bit. I didn't want to leave, but I ain't have no more money.
That definitely spoiled her because every time I called her, she had the biggest smile on her face and had the latest shoes, and she was out there in Vegas and everything. I'm like, girl, you was living your life.
You right about that. I mean, I supposed to be going on the West Coast early next year. Hopefully, I can pull up on you, Stanley, in a good way or whatnot. But I got some interviews I got to do out there. Finally, I guess everybody's not scared anymore, so I can go ahead and go out there and rock out. Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. I said I had to make me a little trip out there too because California was always a place I wanted to go, which is why I found it very ironic that I was signed to him under the brand in California. So I'm like, hey, it's probably a sign.
Oh yeah, that is totally wild. So we got a few more questions before we go here. Uh-oh, my
Mhm.
phone. I was telling you this phone gonna fall a couple times since the computer not acting right,
Oh
but
yeah, you good, you
that's number
good.
three.
Nah, you straight, you straight.
Hold on, where you? Hold on one second, like you disappeared on me. What the heck, my app at? Hold on.
Oh,
There we go. I'm gonna have to edit this out, but so what's the writing process for you? How's it look like?
the writing process would be, I would really put on a nice little show. I would say something like Snowfall or Power, something like that, just to get the little juices going. And then I would most likely go back and read some of the old work in my tablet because, like I said, I'm like rewriting like the whole story because I wrote this story like back in 2017 maybe. So I would get on this tablet right here and I would read through all the old stuff that I would read and I would see like how I'm about to break it down and brainstorm up my new story and I'm actually writing it on my phone here So I would get on my phone and probably just start bantering to myself like, okay, like, well, how am I just go get this part down, or how I'm about to just write this next scene. But I have to have it dark as well, like
Oh,
really
there.
dark LED lights going, set a little vibe.
Oh yeah, that tablet can pack a lot of information, and I just recently within the last couple years actually downloading books. I'm one of them people. I got like boxes of books
Yeah,
just in
me too.
storage
Me too.
or a
I
bag
had
of
to get
books.
rid of most of them. I'm the same way. I like a nice hardcover copy. I'm the same way.
But you know the old school in me, I still like the hard cover, soft cover,
Yeah,
whatever you want to call it. I need to put it in my hand.
yeah. I'm the same way too. Like soon as I got my shipment of books, because my sister she was reading it on the tablet too. But as soon as I got my shipment of books, she was like, I'm reading on my tablet, but I would like to get like a hardcover copy so I could read the book. I'm like, I got you. But I was the same way. Like I read it from front to back, and I was just like, this is mine. This is actually my book.
It kind of gives you a challenge whenever you have it in your hand. Like I got to read the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like on the internet or whatever, you can kind of skip around it, kind of search. Okay, let me look
Yeah,
for
like a
this.
little
Bam, right
skim
there.
through. Yeah, you could just skim through it a little bit, but the book you actually have it in your hands, so you have to really,
I mean,
really have to really do it.
with your highlighter and your paper for your notes and stuff like that. I got notes on my phone, but I can't read them because we doing this right now. But I was basically going to use my phone as my notes, But hey, I can't read the notes right now. We're going to have to freestyle here just a little bit. But we got a few other questions here. How do you perceive the community in the state of urban fiction?
Well, I would say it's really like a real freelance thing. It's really doing what you want to do, how you want to add yourself into the community in a way, because you all every I feel like everybody have their own originality and how they want to write their book. So that's all I really have to say about it. Everybody just have to have their own different styles in the community.
Oh yeah, I like that. I like the way is urban fiction is you know it's turning out right now. It's like
Yeah,
it's other stories that's being told right now. I know most of the time with urban fiction, we just like sex and killing and
yeah.
stuff like that. But now it's a little bit. It's actually more creative. It's like different stories from everywhere now.
Yeah, like some people are starting to bring it into like a supernatural form as well, which is actually really creative. And I actually thought about playing with that a little bit too, because I kind of like a little supernatural stuff myself, and taking it into horror too, like a little horror, horror novel would be good too.
Have you done it in the book fairs yet?
Any book fairs I haven't, but I'm actually hoping that I could attend one sometime next year. I was supposed
I
to
know
go to
you.
the one in October, but I couldn't make it.
I always somehow. Your book was doing this thing that I didn't make it in Houston either, but I'll be down there next time. Yeah, that's quite a bit of authors, just get into like different things right now. I like that,
Hmm.
shout out to the men doing their thing as well,
Yeah,
We got a
yeah,
voice out here in these streets now.
yeah, yeah. That's what I say too. Shout out to the men writers out there, because it is not many. It's always so many, female writers under there. But I encourage a lot of male men to start writing as well.
I would say, oh yeah, oh boy, Stanley got jokes. He right about that. Yeah, California will turn you into a Jamaican with 6 jobs. I got like two and a half. I'm in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? But my regular job paying all the bills and everything else. My side hustle just pour into the podcast and doing other stuff I need to do. But if I was in a if I end up going if I was in California in the early days, I'd probably have 2 strikes right now. Messing with California,
Yeah, who you
it's
telling?
too high out there.
Yeah, it pretty much is. My mom just moved out there. She keep telling me the same thing. Like if you would have went to California, I promise you wouldn't have came back. Like they would have had you in the hold out there. I'm like, I believe you.
Heck yeah. So, what would you suggest for somebody to want to get into the writing game?
Okay, I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
I'm sorry. What would you suggest? Oh, God, I'm sorry. What would you suggest for anybody want to start writing?
What would I suggest? I would suggest you to just do it. Like even if you feel like you sound crazy, because a lot of people would tell me this all the time. Even if you sound crazy, it do not matter. Just pull it up in your notes. Like if you feel like you got this little small little part that's in your head, just write it down. Go back and go back and finish it later. Like even if it's like another little part, even if it don't make sense, just write many paragraphs. And I will always suggest to put little gaps in between them. Put gaps in between all your little ideas, and before you know it, you'll probably have a story in your hands. Because because by the time you go back and you start thinking about it, the story will start coming together in your head as you start brainstorming everything.
I mean, I know some people get intimidated trying to write like a big old book. I mean, if you can't do a book, you can still. What you call those novellas? What you call those little short stories?
Yeah, little short story. Yeah, that's what I call them, little short stories. That's just what I call
I think they call them something now. I think they call them novella or novella. It's something like that. I ain't saying it right, but you know the author folks know what's going on. They know.
them. Yeah, we do.
But tell us everybody where we can find your stuff at.
You can find In the Family on Amazon. The link is in my bio at author Taee Jaxx. And author Taee Jaxx is exactly how it's spelled. You can find it on Instagram and on Facebook. And I just made a Twitter, so the link will be on Twitter as well.
Oh yeah, that's what's up right there. But also on my social media, y'all see it at the bottom. You'll find me at the Writers Book Club on YouTube and Instagram, the same way it's spelled at the bottom. But also on Twitter, it's actually the Writers Book Club. Also, don't forget the vote on the C Awards for 23 for me for the best radio show podcast of the year.
Yes,
Hopefully, I'll be able to represent in Tennessee next year. You know, make sure you hit the link in my bios and vote for your boy. It don't cost you nothing. Look
yes,
for the
vote
Writers
for
Book Club.
vote.
Yeah, look for the Writers Book Club on the radio show podcast of the year. Couple clicks, you got me in there. But other than that, there you go. Oh yeah, hold on. There you go, Stanley. Novella. Yep, you're right. Less
Yeah,
than 10,000 words.
I knew he was gonna come with
I
it.
mean 38. I'm sorry, 38,000. I would say 38K.
Oh, yeah, he was gonna come with it.
But Stanley in for the win right there, man. He quick on his feet. That's what I like right there.
Always, yeah. Man with the plan.
So you got anything else to say before we go?
I want this to always be a trademark that I would always say: be your best self, be you, and anything that you want to do, you definitely could do it. Because, like just 6 months ago, I did not think that my first book would be out to the world, and it actually is. So it definitely could happen for anybody else.
Oh yeah, we do appreciate you coming through. We're going to chop it up for a few minutes, stay on the line for me. But other than that,
Thank
your
you.
boy Mr. Old School Rider over, and we out on the Riders Book Club. This will be up here shortly. We over and we out. We taking over. You right about that, Gigi. Right about
Yes,
that.
yes,
I
yes.
don't know who that is, but
Yes,
I
shout
like
out
that.
to cousin. That is the new sake to our brand. Yes, that's my cousin actually.
Oh yeah, Gigi be looking out as well here in the future, of course. But you know
Yes,
we're gonna hold it down
up next.
for POP. But other than that, this should be up here shortly. Stay right there, Tay.
I got you.
All right.